Ba-doop-ba-doop-bop.
Welcome to the family with
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
And Andy Brandt Bernard. You know, the
Alex.
order is different
Well, when I go
now.
in Florida,
Yep.
I'm always last. Up here, I don't know when I am anymore.
it all worked out in the end. That's all I have to say.
So I'm having a gay old time
About
learning
what?
about Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
You can get rid of. People will come to your house and give you $5 for something that you've had
Absolutely
for
anything.
400 years,
Yep.
as long as it's in good shape.
Well, I want to hear all about this. What's that?
I have two semi-deflated exercise balls, the huge ones. They take up a ton of room. The kids used to play with them all the time.
Yep.
I found that when I bought them so that I could do sit-ups on them because they're supposed to be super efficient. Well, it just killed my back.
Yeah.
So I never used them. And I bought two because back in those days, I've had them for so long and they are pretty much indestructible. Alex was working out with me sometimes. So anyway, so I've had these two exercise balls forever and a day. And to tell you the truth, when the kids play with them in the lower level there, we have a hearth. And I'm always just terrified someone's going to crack their skull open.
Not a good
Yep.
place for that.
Because when they get on those balls, they go wild.
They
They're maniacs on the balls and they bounce off them and they hit each other with them. And it's just like, okay, these have to go. So I put them on Facebook Marketplace for $5 for two. Just to have somebody, I would have given them away, but I'm
Yeah.
like, why not make $5?
Sure.
Somebody's going to come and get them. Yeah, I mean, and they come to your house and take it away. I got rid of my Pilates reformer that I've had forever.
They picked that up already?
No, that's going to be 1:00 this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I have to try to get it out of the basement for them, I think.
All right.
It comes apart so they can get it, but that was gone in a minute. I had a dollhouse with a ton of pieces that I picked up at a garage sale. I've got two people that want that. Just stuff you never use. You know, you go through your cupboards and you're like, I have had this KitchenAid mixer for a million years and I've got all the attachments. I love it when I get into a cooking mood, but I'm really hardly ever in a cooking mood
Yeah,
anymore.
the 3 times a year you actually turn it on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it does bake. It makes the batters and everything beautiful and everything turns out great. But I just don't use it. So, and those are like, I don't even know, $700 new. So if you,
$700?
oh yeah,
Jesus.
those are very expensive. And I've got a ton of attachments. So if I've owned it for probably 15 years. If I sell the whole thing for $100 with all the attachments, I'll be happy. And somebody will take it away.
Looks like about $400 for just the mixer and the bowl.
Yeah, I've got the juicer. I've got the spiralizer, which I did use that quite a bit when I was into spiralizing my own veggies. But I just have a little hand grinder thing. I mean, it's just you and me eating.
Yeah.
So when I cook, I don't need to cook for,
Right.
Well, I used to have to cook for 6 people because Andy could eat for 3.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I always had to cook a lot of food, but I don't really have to do that anymore unless everybody comes over. And now everybody's got their own dietary things. Alex is a vegetarian. Andy can't eat this. Melissa doesn't eat that. Kids don't eat this. You like this. It's like, just order from a place because I cannot accommodate everybody. It's too hard.
No, I understand. That's
So
not a
it's
problem.
just, I just don't need that stuff anymore. And it's like, if somebody will come and take it and they will use it, it's better than it sitting in a cabinet.
Yep. No,
Right?
absolutely.
But I also learned the very first thing that happens. So I made a Facebook page with a fake name, with a pseudonym, because I don't want anybody to know who I am. I hate Facebook as a corporation. I think it's a terrible corporation. But this marketplace thing works like a charm. It works like a charm. But the very first thing that happens is people start asking for codes.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to do that.
And apparently, so I'm like, they're like, I'm a single woman. So for my safety, I can send you a code, or they wanted me to send them a code,
What?
So I called up, I contacted Melissa right away because I know she sells stuff and Alex was working, so she didn't get back to me. So Melissa's like, no, never do codes. It's always a scam.
No, Eric in the chat he's talking about all the different scams that there are on Facebook Marketplace, and he said, I'm going to send you a code to confirm you are a real person. Tell
Yep.
me what that code. But how is that a scam?
I
What does the
don't know.
code do?
I don't know. And they also one of them wanted, I'm like, what code? I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm new to Marketplace. I just got on here today. And she's like, well, I need a relative's phone number. I need somebody else's phone number to confirm.
Oh,
And I'm like, why would you need my kid's phone number or my husband's phone number to confirm this?
yeah, well, that's so obviously fishy. I mean, people fall for that.
I know. And then
give me your kids' phone numbers so I can confirm
Yeah.
it's you. But it's like, how about I just tell you a secret password? You
Well,
know?
are they trying to get into your account somehow with your phone number? They're trying to do some sort of, I don't understand the scam.
Well, I think
mean,
the idea is just they're harvesting phone numbers so that they can
Oh.
put them on spam lists and stuff like that.
Oh, just sell them for a quarter of a penny or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that could very well be. So anyway, so I instantly get 2 of those. And apparently what you can do is you can go on their profile, and if they just joined like today and they don't
Mhm.
have any history at all, it's most likely a scam.
Right.
And then you have to block them. And you can report them.
Oh, here's what it is. Okay. So what it is they send like a password reset thing to Facebook as you.
Oh,
And what that does is Facebook will send you a code, and that's the code you're supposed to enter to reset your password. They tell you that it's from them, but it's actually from Facebook. So when you give them the code, they now have the Facebook code to reset your password.
those dirty, rotten scandals.
That's what it is.
I can't believe it. People spend a lot of time learning how to screw people out of stuff, don't they?
They sure do.
So once they gain access to your what do they do once they gain access to your site?
Probably, I don't know, send viruses to everyone on your contacts.
Oh, wonderful.
You know,
But why
that
do
sort of
they even
thing.
want to do that? Why do they want to do this with their time here on Earth?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't either. And I guess there's all kinds of different ways of scamming too. Like they'll say that they overpaid you,
Too bad.
or they never
Oh,
got
yeah,
never
yeah.
got the Venmo money, which apparently that happens a lot because you can accidentally Venmo people money if you don't have the exact right handle.
Yeah, you
Venmo
always have to
handle.
make sure it's the right handle.
Yeah. It's
Well, if
better
they give you the wrong handle and you Venmo that handle, then too bad.
It really
You
shouldn't
gave
be
me the
your
wrong
problem.
handle.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything about that.
Well, they can
Sorry.
send you a QR code, can't they?
Yeah,
That's the easiest.
They can do all sorts of things. But you know,
But they'll try to scam you out of that.
exactly.
Or they'll come and pick it up and go, oh, I only want to pay, 13 cents for this. And then you're standing there with a stranger who's haggling at your door,
Mm,
which that is not comfortable either.
Yeah.
No,
But you
that
can
would not be
report
good.
these people. Melissa says she doesn't think Facebook ever does anything about anything, which sounds like Facebook. All they care about is politics. So anyway, but it is a good way of getting rid of stuff, I have to say. So far, everything I've put on there has gotten interest, at least. And apparently, if you don't sell it within a few days, you should just lower the price a little bit. And then all of a sudden, you'll hit a price that all of a sudden you'll have a bunch of people interested in.
I have a question for you because I've been thinking this since I was a little kid. Because there are a lot of scam artists and stuff in the old neighborhood and
Sure.
this, that, and the other thing. And I always thought, even as a little kid, I thought, do I have to admit to myself that I'm too stupid or untalented or have no desire to succeed on my own? In order to get yourself to do something like that, you must admit to yourself you're a complete failure that has to screw people. Or do they think they're brilliant because they're screwing people?
We've talked about this 100,000 times. They absolutely think that they're intellectually superior to
How?
you
Yep.
because they've figured out a way of scamming. It's like,
They just don't want to work.
well, I have a hard time having a criminal mind. I just don't get,
Right.
a lot of things. I mean, obviously, if I was working and, as a bartender and I was handling tons of cash, it would be easy to throw cash in your pocket. And,
Right.
Yeah.
but I mean, obviously, I can figure that out. But this whole code thing and to get into your Facebook and sell it on a list, all it is they probably have set up some sort of algorithm that's just a bot that does it for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they think they're smart.
Or it's just a bunch of people in a call center somewhere
Yeah.
in the Eastern Hemisphere who
Yeah.
are, this is their job.
This might be their job.
This
right?
is literally their job, is scamming people. And
Really?
Well, and then I found another interesting thing is I wanted to get on this garage sale for Minnetonka, Eden Prairie, the surrounding suburbs to where we live.
Mm-hmm.
And they denied me because I didn't have a profile picture. And I'm like, I could put anything up there. What difference would that make if I had I could put anybody's picture up there.
Right.
How would they know it's me?
Why do they need that anyway?
Well, I suppose maybe as a safety level, if the photo matched the person that answered the door, or you were meeting
Exactly.
somebody in a
Oh,
parking
okay.
lot. But I mean, photos a lot of times don't have to look at all like you. I mean,
that
you
is true.
Right.
Some people are like that.
Well, and-
I've known people where I've met them in real life and they look almost nothing like their photo. It's not like, like a catfishing thing, or it's like, oh, you've gained or lost a bunch of weight. It's like something about the focal length of the camera just makes their features not look like
Right.
they do in real life.
Exactly.
weird.
So I don't see where that would make it so that, but I don't want to have my photo up there. So I'm just not going to do it. But anyway, so that's what I have been doing the last couple of days. And then I have to learn the protocol, because I guess there's a protocol, because you can make people really mad real easily. Like the first person that responds to you, you're supposed to give the first chance to get it.
Right, exactly.
But I don't know how many hours or days you're supposed to, wait for them.
I generally figure if they're not going to respond in like 8 hours.
Oh, 8 whole hours, a whole day?
I mean, it's a work. What if these people are like, ER nurses or something like that? You
Yeah.
can't really respond during that shift. But it's like,
Yeah.
so you can inquire, go to work, come back, and then respond. But if you're not going to bother doing that, or like, pick it up during your lunch break or something, then sorry, too bad.
Yeah. So anyway, because I had 2 people that responded to the stall house, and the second person was kind of like, I want it really bad. And I said, well, I already have somebody that's interested in it. And she said, well, I texted you twice early this morning. I said, well, he texted me at 1 a.m. So
That's pretty early.
That's the first person, right? So don't get mad at me, lady.
Yep.
So yeah,
That makes sense. I don't know. That's a different world now. There are professional thieves by the thousands and thousands and
and
thousands
they're
around
in
the world.
Congress
now.
and the Senate and
Yes, in that too. No question. People on social media are sharing things they said they learned embarrassingly late, like that carrot cake is really made with carrots.
Are you
I
kidding
mean,
me?
what else would it be made out of?
Carrot cake made with carrots. Or that a quart is a quarter of a gallon.
Hence the name.
Hence the name quart. See, get it?
I get it.
You probably know the meme. I was today years old. I was today years old. What the hell does that mean?
That's what they say. They
means
think
I
they're
learned
funny.
it. I recently learned this.
They're trying to be cute and
Yeah.
clever, but
Okay, explain it to me, because
just
I don't.
annoying.
What is it supposed to mean? I was today years old.
It means I
just
learned
told
it
you.
today.
That's stupid.
Yes, it's very stupid. I hate it.
I hate it as much as you do, and I just saw it for the very first
It's
time.
very.
so-
You were today
No.
years old when you first saw.
I think there's
was
worse
today years old.
things.
Well, of course there are. But it's very big on like TikTok and Instagram.
Oh,
Oh.
it is okay.
Yep.
Well, it gets people's attention.
Got my attention because I didn't know what the hell they were
Suppose so.
talking about. Not a clue.
No.
I was today years old when I learned blank. For stuff you should have already known, people on social media are talking about the things that they say they learned embarrassingly late. And here are some of the best revelations. Yeah, these ought to be pretty interesting. I've never heard someone say Yosemite out loud. I've been reading it as Yosemite.
Well, Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, Yosemite Sam was out there. That's right.
Yeah,
What
I-
about
Well,
Yosemite
you would have
Sam?
to be many years old to know
I saw-
Yosemite Sam.
I know
Oh, okay.
Yosemite Boomerang. Watching Boomerang on Cartoon Network.
You watched a lot of Cartoon Network, though.
Yes, I did.
I don't know if everybody does.
Yeah, I can't. Well, he was in Space Jam, and I'm
Oh, that's right.
ostensibly Space Jam
Well,
too.
that's still very old, dear.
That's true. Space Jam is coming up on 30 years, probably.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
see.
old.
Space Jam. Yeah, 2 years it'll be 30. So
Yeah,
yeah,
That was a fun movie, though.
I have heard people say Yosemite, though. I have.
Yosemite.
I am a
definitely-
Yosemite. Sounds
Yosemite
like a
Sam?
religious cult.
It does.
Yeah, there you go.
Or
I'm
like
a
a
Yosemite.
Jewish group in the Bible, the
Yeah.
Yosemites.
The Yosemite.
And the Yosemites.
When the
were
Yosemites
were
went to
smiting.
Jerusalem. Yep.
Yeah.
There you have it. I once accidentally shouted, "I love necrophilia" during a class in 10th grade. I just read a book about a young teenage necromancer, and I got the words mixed up.
Well, you should probably worry about that.
I love necrophilia, making love to a dead person.
I remember a story of an old friend of ours that was living in a Spanish-speaking country, and he used the word pregunta wrong.
Question?
Yeah, he thought it meant pregnant.
Oh, pregunta, yeah. Are you pregunta?
And he really embarrassed
Pregunta.
his housekeeper by asking her if she was pregunta or something like that.
Well, what
I
the
don't
hell?
remember the whole story, but I guess it was funny.
Okay, see, now number 3, I had no idea what this even is or that it actually happens. Pumpkin spice does not actually taste like pumpkin.
That's true.
I don't know. What is pumpkin spice? I don't even know what that is.
It's the spice that you put on a pumpkin.
It's like allspice and
Oh,
cinnamon
okay.
and clove and all those.
Yeah,
all
it's
those,
like
all those things you put in a pumpkin pie.
right. It's like fish sauce doesn't contain fish. It's
No.
a sauce you
It's
put
a
on
sauce
fish.
you put on fish.
Mhm.
Right. Pumpkin spice is spice that you put on pumpkin.
So it doesn't taste like pumpkin, but it makes the
No,
pumpkin taste
But
better.
people think that
Yeah.
it tastes like pumpkin because they believe that it has pumpkin in it.
And when you're
So-
baking a
Oh.
pumpkin pie, you smell all of those spices.
That's true. A lot of
Yeah.
people probably don't even know what pumpkin tastes like, to be honest. It's like, how often do you eat pumpkin outside of
Pumpkin
a dessert?
isn't that
Not me.
flavorful,
No, it
really.
doesn't really.
It's a little sweet, like just a normal squash, but it's kind of bland.
Oh, this is cold. In my 20s, I thought there was just red and white wine. Red wine and white wine. I tried to order white wine, and I was confused when the waiter asked which one.
Oh, it's like
He thought
red
it-
Kool-Aid and white Kool-Aid. It's like, there's the two flavors of wine.
That's it.
Well,
There's
that's
only two
interesting
flavors.
because in European countries, a lot of times in some of these smaller or even high-end restaurants, they will have one white and one
They'll
red
just give you
that
the
they have
table wine.
picked-
Yep.
that they have picked for the.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep. So if you order a glass of red wine, you're going to get a glass of red wine that they just are like, this is what we
Yep.
serve.
This is our house wine. Yeah. The thing
Mhm.
about like having 20 different choices is not very usual.
Yeah, that's a very American thing.
And I mean,
have a
to be
million
fair,
choices.
it's also not that usual in America outside of fancier restaurants. Like, I'm sure if you went
Well,
to like
that's true.
Olive Garden or something and asked for a red, they'd be like, here's our red. If they even serve wine at Olive Garden, I don't know. I'm assuming
I think
they do.
I think they serve wine and beer, maybe. I don't think they do mixed drinks there. That's a good question. I haven't been in an Olive Garden in many years.
I've never been to one.
My parents used to drag me to one once in a while.
I know your dad loved
16-minute drive from Cotton Hole, Arizona to
Mhm.
Prescott. You had to go
Oh,
to
Prescott, yeah.
I had to drive all the way to Prescott to go to an Olive Garden.
An hour away?
It was a good 45 minutes, yes.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah, they lived in the
Jesus.
middle of a nowhere.
Yes, they did. That being there at night was surreal.
It
was like being in outer space.
It felt like you were in the 1800s.
Yeah.
In the middle of Arizona.
You could do a 360-degree sweep and see nothing.
Yeah,
Really?
You could hear
Yeah.
coyotes, see
Mhm.
stars. It was just
Very interesting.
Yeah, I felt like I was in a Western movie every time I went up there.
Unbelievable. So how many houses were around them? None?
Well, they
Oh, a
lived in a
decent amount.
development.
Yeah.
But the
It was a
developments were pretty few and far in between.
Yeah. The development was just like plopped down in the desert, not next to anything.
Oh,
No,
really?
No, that was one of the original developments outside of the little tiny town of Cottonwood, which is kind of
Okay.
cute. It's worth a day trip to go up into Jerome and Cottonwood and tool around in that area, but it's not really. There's nothing else to do. It's on its way to Sedona. So if you're going to Sedona, you could stop for a half a day and probably do
okay.
Jerome and Cottonwood. And there's some decent restaurants there now. But it's a little bit of a tourist trap, and there's just not that much to do there.
I don't know if I believe this one because you'd have to be pretty dim. I thought roadside memorials were actually graves. Yeah,
I
they
mean, they-
buried your dad 2 feet from the road.
Well, they probably used to be, honestly.
I wouldn't. I don't know about
I
that.
don't think so.
I mean, like before cars. It's like, you get waylaid
Oh.
by bandits or whatever. They're just going to
Bury you in the ditch.
bury you where it happened.
no,
Yeah,
they
my.
throw you over their donkey and
I suppose.
cart your carcass somewhere else.
Oh, this. I have a tough time believing this one, but then again, after the actual grave roadside, POWMIA.
Prisoner of war, missing in action.
Yep.
Yeah.
That POWMIA wasn't pronounced phonetically as Paumia.
Paumia.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Paumia? Really? That's what you came up with? These are not very
Well, there
bright
are these
people.
things like NASA. You don't say NASA. Why do you say NASA?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Sometimes they're acronyms and sometimes they're initialisms.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I was 27 when I realized that hump day referred to the middle of the week and not the day everyone humps. When someone would say happy hump day at the office, I'd think, I'm pretty sure you can't say that here. You thought it was about humping.
Hump
I
day.
was like, okay. I've never understood humping anyway. Yes, we were humping.
Yeah, it's like something an 8-year-old would say when they're not really sure what's going on.
That's
Well, because
exactly right.
animals, the way that they mate, usually there's a
suppose.
lot of
Yeah.
arching hump. You
Mhm.
make a hump of their back.
Yeah, but humans don't do that.
Well, some of them probably do.
Well, maybe they do. Yeah, you're probably right. I thought the term birthday suit meant that an outfit you literally supposed to wear on your birthday. Well, it could be a birthday.
Could
That
be,
could
yeah.
be.
Now, some
right?
things, it's just like if you really thought about it, but you're not really thinking about it, you could come up with
No,
whatever.
absolutely.
But if you really think about it, you'll probably be able to figure it out.
Mhm.
You know, my friend Bobby Knotts, and he actually did believe this. You never met Bobby, did you?
Yes.
Oh, you did, because he died a long time ago.
Yes.
I thought maybe you didn't meet him. But Bobby Knotts literally thought when he was born in a tuxedo.
Birthday suit.
Bobby.
He literally thought he was born wearing a tuxedo, a
It's-
little baby.
Very good control of the
Bobby.
organs for the mother.
Yeah, it really is.
Swallow a tuxedo and then
Yeah.
maneuver it in there. Yeah.
Well, probably work a different way.
Well, yeah, I
but,
suppose.
God, I miss Bobby. He was a great guy.
Ugh,
Well, Billy used to come over and watch the Viking games with us. You should probably get a hold of Billy and watch a Viking game with him. So he's a great guy.
Probably
What a
should.
great family, the Knotts family in North Minneapolis. I thought cattle was a separate species of cow until grad school.
Hmm.
They're cows and they're cattle, two different things. Huh?
Well, a lot of people think that a pony is a baby horse.
that's true.
Like adults think that a pony is a baby horse.
What is a pony?
a pony is a pony.
It's a type of horse.
It's a type
It's like
of
a
horse.
miniature horse is a
Yeah.
miniature horse.
Right.
It's
A
Yeah.
foal
different.
is a baby horse.
Yeah.
So there are such things as baby ponies or adult ponies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a pony who has a foal.
Right.
All right. There you go.
It's like a pincher and a min pin, kind of.
Yeah.
Min pin is just a smaller pincher. It's not a baby pincher.
Right.
And the final one, well, see, now I didn't even know this. And now, actually, yeah, I did not know this. We've driven past it, but have we ever been on Rhode Island? Have we ever gone into the town of Rhode Island or the state of Rhode Island? I mean,
No, we have not.
we've driven past it. I know that on the way back from Boston.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I learned that Rhode Island is not an island. I learned that at 53 years old.
I don't know anything about Rhode Island.
I think most people think that Rhode Island is an
why
island
is it
because it's called an island.
Yeah,
Very
why is it
tiny.
called Rhode Island if it's not an island?
I think that's a very good point, actually. It's like, well, if it's not an island, why'd you call it an island?
I wonder.
Maybe there are some outlying islands on the coast. It has coastline, so maybe they've got like some
Yeah,
outer banks,
on the
and that's
water.
where people landed. Or I don't know.
Apparently, they don't really know why it's called that.
Oh, they don't know
There's
who named
some
it Rhode Island.
possible like 16th, 15th century explorers like mistook it for an island, maybe, but we don't know for sure.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting because I know two people from Rhode Island. Of course, you know, we got Renee Sternhaus from Rhode Island and Michael Bryant's from Rhode Island. But I've never talked to them about, is it an island or is it not? When we drove by it, it was attached to the rest of the continent, so I knew it wasn't an island. But why did they call it Rhode Island then?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Apparently, no particular reason.
I guess not. I guess that's just the way it is. The Script Spelling Bee finals are tomorrow. Do you guys ever have any desire to be in the Script Spelling Bee?
Andy was a
I'd-
really good speller.
I'd probably be good at it.
Yeah, for a while there, I was thinking that he was going to become a spelling bee king, but then I think somebody beat you on.
Yep, I remember.
On some.
I missed the word vacuum.
Yeah, and I think that disappointed you, and you were like, okay, if I can't even spell vacuum, who am I
Pretty
as a
much.
speller?
You know what's funny about that? By coincidence, yet again, there's a thing on Facebook talking about Brown Institute where I went when
Me
I
too.
was 18 years old. Yes, exactly. You too. And Don Ide, who was one of my professors, Don was always a really great guy. I always liked him a lot.
Mhm.
He didn't laugh a lot. He was not stern, but he was just kind of, present. But I don't know, he was really good at this. He said, "You are all pronouncing that word wrong. It's pronounced vacuum."
Technically, it is.
Vacuum.
It's pronounced vacuum. It's not vacuum.
Well,
it's
you
vacuum.
sound like a dork if you say
Yeah,
that.
that's the
You
thing.
sound like a dork because you pronounce it properly.
Well, there's a lot of
Yes.
that. It's like short-lived is the correct pronunciation. But if
Mhm.
you say that, people will think you're insufferable.
A short life, yes, instead of short-lived.
Yep, it's something that has a short life. It is short-lived.
Right, short-lived. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. But yeah, I remember Don I'd always said it is not vacuum, it's vacuum.
I came to that realization, like, I think it was in high school. Oh no, it was middle school because we had to learn Latin at that one super Christian place
Oh
that
yeah.
I went to.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like,
For
learning
a
how
month. For 1 month.
how Latin works. And I was like, shouldn't it be pronounced vacuum then? Why does no one pronounce it that way?
There you go. How long you lasted there until what? You were there in September and part of October, and then we pulled you out.
No, it was longer than that, I think.
I don't.
I mean, it
think-
might have
Oh,
been
it was because it was
3
a
months.
Christmas tree problem.
It was Christmas tree.
Yeah, they wouldn't put a Christmas tree up. We're thinking a Christian school that doesn't put Christmas
Well,
trees
Well,
up.
idolatry,
I think it
technically.
was more about Halloween that they thought that it was,
That was a weird one,
worshiping
yeah.
the devil or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
we're not doing this.
We were there for, I think, 3 months.
We were there
I mean,
3
I
months, yeah.
remember going there pretty vividly. And there's things that took a lot longer than a month that I don't remember happening at all. So
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That it was such a weird. Yeah, they didn't do Halloween or Christmas, I think.
the Christmas thing is like, it's not a very common belief, but there are branches of Christianity that believe that a Christmas tree is idolatry.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, the Christmas tree stems from pagan rituals.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
how when they were doing the integrating of religions to common religions, they let people have some of their own things so that they wouldn't be,
Yep.
mad about this
Right.
new
There's
stuff.
nothing biblical about a Christmas tree.
No,
So the
No.
idea is if it's not in the Bible, we shouldn't do it if it's a Christian holiday.
no. The Christmas tree is to bring a little cheer into the house in the dead of winter. I mean,
Mhm.
can you imagine back in the days
Oh,
when you
God,
didn't have
yeah.
any electricity?
Oh God.
There was no TV. There was no binge watching on Netflix.
No, there was not.
There was nothing to do except for freeze your butt off and keep the fire burning so you'd be alive in the morning. I mean,
How did anyone ever get away with putting candles on a Christmas tree?
Yeah, I wonder about
well,
that.
they used to, everything was candles.
I
They had
know,
candles
but-
for light. They had candles on the wall. They had candles
but
every place.
Christmas trees are covered in flammable sap.
Exactly. It's
Well,
like,
I
how
think
did
you were
they?
supposed to be smart enough
Just
to,
Yeah.
desap it.
and I'm sure it was a fresh Christmas tree that they had just cut down, and I bet they didn't leave it up for 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's true. They would not.
No.
It's absolutely true.
And I'm sure a lot of people perished because they didn't.
Oh, absolutely. I wonder, like, if there's data on Christmas tree fires.
Back in the day, did they even keep track of why people's house burned down?
I remember when I was 9 years old, they used to have burning barrels back then, where you had a barrel in your backyard, you would
Oh, we
put all
had
the
one.
paper stuff in it,
In
and you
Golden
would light
Valley.
it on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had a burning barrel in your
Sure
backyard.
did.
As a 9-year-old boy, I was told to take the Christmas tree outside. So I took it outside and I thought I was supposed to put
Oh.
the second I put that thing in the burning barrel,
Mhm.
that flame must have been 30 feet high.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dry
Whoa.
Christmas tree is, well, we've seen wildfires how they can spread, and
Yep.
that's on sometimes
Man.
perfectly healthy trees can burn up in
Yes.
a second.
I couldn't believe though how quick that thing went up in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, remember we used to burn boxes in the fire pit.
Yep.
Sometimes those fires got to be pretty.
Pretty
It's like,
true.
maybe we should
That's
back
true
off
too.
on some of the cardboard.
So yeah, the Script Spelling Bee finals are tomorrow night. So Google looked at the top words ordinary Americans struggle with. They posted a map of the top trending how to spell search in all 50 states. Here are the most embarrassing ones. 11 states that can't spell words that are all 6 letters or less.
6 letters.
I don't know if there's a
less.
6-letter word I can't spell.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Maybe there's probably some
Uh,
obscure one that I remember getting really mad about when I was like probably 13 or 14 was luncheon.
Oh, luncheon, yeah.
It's like lunch in.
Lunch
Yeah,
Why
you
is
know,
there
the
luncheon,
the
yeah.
EOs and the EUs can be sometimes a little confusing.
Well, and I had never heard the word. So they're like, spell luncheon. I'm like, what the hell is lunch in? Like,
Or EOU.
Lunch
it's like
in.
laugh in, but with a lunch. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me. So I just spelled it lunch in, and that was wrong.
One of the greatest lines in movie history was, God, what movie was that again? Ah, damn it, I can't remember the name of the movie. Was it? Oh, what the hell was the name of the one?
I don't know
where-
where you are right now.
No,
I'm
no
trying
one
to
does.
think of.
Can't help
Never
you
mind.
out.
I'll just move on. When I think of it, I'll bring it back up.
Well, if you're young enough, luncheon makes you think about steamed hams on The Simpsons.
Oh, really?
Ah, Superintendent Chalmers, welcome. I hope you're prepared for an unforgettable luncheon.
There you go. California cannot spell the word pretty.
That seems impossibly easy to not be able to spell.
Well, apparently Pritty. I think it's
Well,
pretty.
California is the most illiterate state in the nation.
It is.
so-
Yep. Absolutely. it
Boy,
is.
Yep.
They cannot spell pretty, I suppose, but nobody pronounces it pretty.
you know,
No,
you,
they don't.
you have a state that's got some of the most beautiful scenery in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You've got every resource, pretty much.
Yeah.
You can grow stuff like crazy in California. You've got water up north that they could just be piping in instead of stealing it from other places. I just don't understand how, and they've got the taxes that they collect, how the population can be that illiterate.
Yeah.
I just
I know.
don't understand.
A lot of kids can't do math anymore either.
You have to assume they're doing it on purpose because it's not really possible for them
Well-
to be just that bad
Well,
at their
I
jobs.
know that they have loads and loads of immigrants coming in all the time.
Mhm.
Migrants, immigrants, whatever you want to call them. But the taxes that they have, and it's a welfare state. It's a huge welfare
It
state.
is, yeah.
There's no reason why even children that don't speak English can't learn math. I mean, people learn math in other countries that don't speak English.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can learn English also as children. It's not that hard to do, and it doesn't take that many resources to teach another language. Really, it doesn't. It doesn't take 17 vice principals in a school district.
This
That's
is true.
what they have
No,
now,
it takes
though.
more. It takes teachers. It doesn't take vice principals.
They have 17, 20 of them, though, now. That's what they got. Okay, so New Mexico can't spell quiet. I suppose they put a W in it instead of the QUI.
Mm.
North Dakota's dirty secret is they can't spell secret.
North
How else
Dakota?
would you spell secret?
I'm trying to think of a
With a
North
K?
Dakota accent. Does it?
Secret.
Probably
R-U-T.
SUCRIT.
Or R-U-T, too. Secret. That's kind of a secret.
When I used to be typing and writing a lot, I was a much better speller than I am now.
Mhm.
And now I just, you become so reliant on spell check and autocorrect
Yeah.
and stuff
See,
that
I
you just don't.
Yeah, no, I never.
Never
well, I mean,
use
I
it.
use it on my phone because
So
it's
a
like
lot of-
built in, and I can't not.
Yeah,
but
exactly. So, I mean, you just don't really have to think about spelling that much. But a lot of times you do get the wrong word. It's this, the
Yep.
same word, but it's just spelled or a different word spelled or sounds the same.
a homophone.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm thinking of. If you're not paying attention, and I see that all the time when I read articles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That they
Yep.
even published books sometimes will have just an auto spelled word.
Well, what they'll
Oh,
do
yeah.
is they'll
Right.
dictate it
Mhm.
and then just assume that it's all correct without.
well, and
checking
sometimes
it.
computers will even take over and change it
Yeah,
if you've got the settings on that
it's
way.
one of the reasons I hate typing on the phone is because it's like I want this word, but the computer or the phone just
Yes.
refuses to believe that I want this word.
I know. It took me a long time to figure out. You have to go to the left side of the the iPhone screen, and it'll be in quotes the thing that you typed in, but it wants to change it to the ones to
Yeah.
the right. So if you just tap on the left one, you'll
Yeah,
get
if
the
it's a word
that
it
you're
doesn't
trying to
know,
do.
it's going to correct it to a word it does know.
Right.
So you have to, yeah.
And it's like this is a word or
hate it.
names. It'll try to turn it into something
Mhm.
else all the time.
Yep.
That is unbelievable. Kansas cannot spell chaos. What movie was that when the guy said, "This is total chaos"?
Total chows.
What movie was that again? He said,
I
"This is
don't
total
know.
Charles."
That is not something I can Google, unfortunately.
No, I
No?
suppose that's true.
You'd be surprised how many quotes come up in a movie.
Well, but this is total chaos. How do you Google
Just
chaos
if you
but
put
pronounce
this
it
is
wrong?
well, just put this is total chaos because people, if they've looked enough,
That's
it
too
will
common
populate.
of a phrase.
I don't know.
What if I do total chows like spelled
This is total chaos movie.
CHOWS?
Oh, Chows. Yeah, probably Chows. Yeah.
Nope, no help.
No help.
This is total.
Oklahoma doesn't know how to spell animal. I don't know how else. It must put an MEL at the end of it. Michigan can't spell cousin. How do you, all of these words, how do you not know how to spell these?
Yeah, these are like, I don't know. I feel like you have to not have been born here to not be able to spell these.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Ohio can't spell equal. Tennessee can't spell field. This one, this would be pretty easy. Maine cannot spell herd with an A, like I heard you. They always spell it HERD.
Well, they pronounce things very weirdly in the Northeast.
They say I heard you.
Yeah, and like parka is Parker.
Parker, yeah.
Yeah, they put R's at the end of things.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do a lot. Their accent is very unique.
Virginia can't spell the word said. What do they spell it? SED?
Yeah, really.
I don't know. Wisconsin, our next door neighbors, Wisconsin cannot spell ally.
Huh.
That's because they're Packers fans.
I wonder if it's like Ali.
They can only spell enemy.
Yeah, they can only spell enemy. That's exactly right. A few more highlights. Nevada needs to consult the internet to spell the word internet. That's not good.
What?
Yeah,
How else would you spell internet?
Without a T, I suppose.
Internet?
Internet, yeah.
Well, it's like if you asked 100 people to spell infrared, most of them would probably miss the R.
Really?
Infrared, yeah, they'd spell it infrared.
I mean, maybe not most, but probably at least 25%.
Yeah, probably.
Because we don't pronounce it infrared.
No, we don't.
Although we're supposed to.
You're supposed to. Infrared, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Louisiana can't decide how to spell decision. Kentucky definitely cannot spell definitely. And Indiana is jealous if you can spell jealous.
Definitely is a very common one.
Definitely you can't spell
it,
right.
Is it A-L-Y or E-L-Y?
People spell it definitely.
Definitely, yeah. Mississippi is nervous. They can't spell nervous. New Hampshire is tortured by the word tortured. A ton of people in Wyoming need to spell corduroy for some reason.
I don't know if I could. Honestly, I don't know if I do know how to spell corduroy.
C-O-U-R-D.
Nope.
Yeah, there you go.
C-O-R-D-O.
Nope.
C-O-D.
Nope.
C-U-O-R-D.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Well, there you go.
Corduroy, not corduroy, corduroy.
C-O-U-R.
C-O-R.
Is this C-O-R?
There's no U?
D-U-R-O-Y.
Oh, it's corduroy. Okay.
Corduroy.
Corduroy. Well, it's like, how often does anything made of corduroy anymore?
Alex has a corduroy jacket. I have a corduroy.
There's your answer,
corduroy, oversized corduroy shirts were really in about 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
They were also
4
in
days
about
ago, yeah.
40 years ago.
3 states cannot spell the name of other states. Utah can't spell Mississippi. There's a song.
M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I.
There's the song. How do you not
got
know
that
this?
one.
Yeah, exactly. Nebraska can't spell California. That's because it's California.
California.
Mm-hmm.
California.
Or California.
California.
Yeah, California. And even though they're neighbors, Maryland cannot spell Pennsylvania. You know what I did notice about that entire list? Apparently, Minnesotans can spell everything.
We can spell it all.
Well, we pronounce words pretty much correctly.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, the Midwest accent, unless you're in the outer reaches of Minnesota, is pretty standard.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, there are certain words that Minnesotans do slaughter. I'm trying to think of some right now.
Yeah, roof.
Yeah, roof
is a very common one.
And pure for pure.
Yeah, pure. It's really pure. It's like, no, it's pure.
Yeah.
It's not
pure water.
That's true.
It's pure blue water. Yeah.
No question
there's
about
quite
it.
A few.
How about Otsego?
Otsego?
Otsego.
They say Otsego, yes.
They do.
What is Otsego, actually? Is that a person or something?
I'm sure it's either a person or a
Probably.
tribe.
Remember when we were driving? So we drove last week. We left on Thursday, drove from Florida, southern Florida, back to up to Minnesota. And It was okay. So one day we went through Georgia, Tennessee,
Kentucky.
Kentucky. So we stopped for gas in Georgia.
Yes.
The accent.
Oh my God.
I mean,
It is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
that guy on what's that cartoon with the Southern people?
The
guy-
guy
The guy that talks like that.
Oh,
what's his-
Boomhauer from King
Boomhauer.
of the Hill.
They talk just like that.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Black, white, old,
It's true.
young, child, woman, man, they all.
We pulled up.
And then we stopped in, I think, Kentucky the next time for gas. And they have a whole nother Southern accent.
Yeah, they do.
And
Totally
you're just
different.
like, this is so amazing how localized accents are so strong.
Andy, honest to God, this guy got out of his car in Georgia and he leaned in the driver's side window to ask a question. And it was literally like, so.
Yeah, there was this gas station last year when we drove back, and there were cats all over the place.
Yes.
And I said,
Jeez.
oh, are these the owner's cats, or are these just wild cats that like to be fed? And he started talking to me in a Georgian accent. I have no idea what he said to this day.
You just say, okay.
Oh, don't say that's guy around here. Guy. I think I heard guy.
You heard guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it
there you
was
go.
just, yeah, sure.
You bet.
Yeah, sure. You betcha.
Otsego means meeting place
In what?
in Iroquois.
Oh, in Iroquois. Okay.
That would
Otsego.
make sense. We had Iroquois in Minnesota.
No.
I didn't think we did.
Otsego is named after Lake Otsego in New York.
Oh,
Really?
Apparently. Oh wait, no. This is the Otsego in Michigan is named after Lake Otsego in New York.
okay. So it just
Otsego,
kind of traveled
Minnesota
west.
apparently isn't named after anything. I guess it must just be named after because there's an Otsego in Mississippi.
Yeah, some settler
it's
decided
everywhere.
to leave Michigan and started a new Otsego in
Apparently there was a
Minnesota.
Johnny Otsego seed traveling the land, making cities named Otsego.
That sounds great.
I guess
that sounds
so.
perfectly reasonable.
Perfectly reasonable,
It does.
I suppose.
I'd go for it.
Someone posted a label from a bottle of pancake syrup saying, quote, do not freeze and keep away from tractor and sun. Yes,
Yeah,
I did say tractor. Oh, you know this?
I do. I've,
Tractor.
yeah, very coincidentally, this is one of the things I have seen. I know,
Really?
and I know why it says that too.
That is amazing. I have no idea what the hell we're even talking about. And you've seen this.
Yep.
Syrup.
Do not freeze and keep away from tractor and sun turned out to be a bad translation. It was supposed to say heat, not tractor. What?
It's translated from Arabic, and
What?
the Arabic translation missed one dot, which
Uh-oh.
changed the word from heat to tractor.
Oh,
Yep. Like it would be like mistranslating an I as a J or vice versa.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just
Oh.
like basically the same letter, but just like with a little tiny extra.
there you go.
You've seen medications that warn you not to operate heavy machinery under the influence, but would it be weird if a product warned you not to operate a tractor under the influence of pancakes? Someone posted a label from a bottle of pancake syrup and it went viral for this warning on the back, quote, do not freeze and keep away from tractor and sun. Naturally, people are confused about why it would be kept from tractors. One person joked, how quickly we forget. Doesn't anyone remember the great tractor syrup tragedy of 63? Oh, someone be a smart
Well, why
ass.
can't you heat? You can heat up syrup. What kind of syrup is this?
No,
Raw
it's a-
syrup, I think in heat it'll go bad.
Oh,
Well, like raw actual maple syrup has to be refrigerated once you've opened it.
But it does say it's supposed to say keep away from heat, not
Mhm.
keep away from tractors.
yeah.
The difference between those words is one small dot, as Andy said, in Arabic. Andy, you can read Arabic, can't you?
No, I cannot read Arabic.
Oh, I thought
Andy.
you could.
Definitely can't read Arabic. That's a very tough one.
I thought you
Well,
had
for
some
one, it's red
talents.
right to left, which is like
Yeah.
Like Bohemian.
it's like
or
a
Czech.
it's a whole nother thing that you got to learn. But it's a very difficult language to learn to read.
Well, I suppose it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes
I
sense.
can read Japanese and I can read Cyrillic. Those are the two foreign scripts I can read.
And for people, what is Cyrillic?
They use that with
Russia.
Russian, Ukrainian,
okay.
that whole area.
Oh, is Bohemian based on that?
Bohemian.
Or Czech? I don't know. Bohemian language is lost.
So
I
you're just
think.
talking about, well, Czech isn't read right to left, is it?
Well, my mom had prayer books and things, and they were read left to right. So maybe just when it was Bohemian. I don't know.
wonder.
Who knows?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Czech is just, it's written with the Latin script with a bunch of different diacritics on it.
See, I love these stories. See, I think every Wednesday we should find the best stories in all of the news sites and like things like this. I love this kind of stuff because you actually learn something from
Yes,
this.
when there's something is actually interesting on the interwebs, which is
Exactly.
not always.
A third of Americans think doing the dishes. I didn't even see this. Okay. This is how people talk themselves into things, is what this is. A third of Americans think doing the dishes or a load of laundry counts as exercise. 36% say taking out the trash counts too. I know a lot of things.
100%, as long as you're moving.
Well, taking out the trash as exercise. It's just
For-
15 seconds of exercise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's what's that interval training? That's what it is.
I just love that. The fact that, yes, this is exercise. No, it's not. I know a lot of things add up, but if this is the standard, we might all be weighing about 500 pounds very soon. Mom and I will tell you, by the way, if we get this in before Jude snores again, that was loud.
Yep.
God, now I've lost my train of thought because I heard Jude snore. What would I talk? Oh, your mom and I drove up from Southern Florida to Minneapolis, St. Paul. It took us 3 days to do it, about 30 total hours, something like that. Because we stopped.
Right
and
around
stuff.
there with stopping.
We stopped and all that stuff and all the rest of it. I am not exaggerating when I tell you that we saw dozens and dozens of men and women who weighed at least 400 pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
kind
doubt
of
it.
shocking, the obesity.
It really
although
is.
you're not supposed to say anything about it anymore, and that's now the new normal.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, it's for their own health. They should probably not
Nope,
weigh
now
that much.
they don't even say that anymore.
Oh, it's not
Healthy
good.
at every size now.
It's not bad
Yep.
for your health.
Nope.
These people are, honest to God.
I know.
Look, I weighed 315 pounds and I was huge. These 400 or 500 pound people, they're going to die tomorrow,
They
aren't
sure
they?
are, but
It is just, I mean,
What can
and
you do?
little kids, like 12-year-old
I know.
girls,
Yep.
just so heavy.
I've seen 8-year-old kids who are like clearly like if you scaled them up to the size of an adult, they'd be in like the 95th percentile for weight.
Well, it's interesting because, okay, so you're driving across the country, and what do you have for food choices? You have Subway,
Mhm.
you have Wendy's, you have Hardee's.
I mean, you have options.
You don't have a lot of options.
I agree.
I
with
ate nothing
Andy.
but fast food for 10 years and I didn't gain
Yeah,
weight.
but you were a child.
No, I mean, when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, in your 20s, you can get away with a lot. When you're older, like I eat pretty clean. I don't eat very much sugar. I try to stay away from, white flour and stuff.
Mhm.
I do try to eat pretty clean. I'm not like crazy about it, but I do because I feel better. And we ate, okay. We had Taco Bell. I had Taco Bell one day, and I have to tell you,
Mhm.
it was delicious. I haven't had a
Right.
Taco Bell taco in a million years.
I'll have it like once a year,
The crunchy
maybe.
Taco Supreme
Yep, that's what I
is
always
just
got.
absolutely delicious.
Mhm. Crunchy Taco Supreme.
But and then I had, what did we have? A Wendy's hamburger?
Mhm.
Wendy's is good.
I know. I'm not saying none
food's
of the
good.
food is
Yep.
good.
Yep.
And we stopped at a grocery store, and Dad bought some crispy fried chicken, which was not the
It was
greatest.
terrible.
Mm.
What was the name of that grocery store chain?
Schmucks.
Schmucks?
Schmucks?
That's right.
Schmuckers. Schmucks.
Schmucks?
That
Schmucks.
cannot be right.
Schnucks?
SCHMU.
That was in Indiana or Kentucky? Indiana, or
I
maybe
don't remember.
Illinois. I don't know.
Schnucks with an N.
Well,
Schnuck.
Schnucks. It's not
Okay, I was going to
Schmucks.
say Schmucks
It's
grocery
not
store.
Schmucks. It's Schnucks.
And the chicken, the fried chicken was very, very overcooked, and it was not good, but it was food, So and when you're driving, you don't burn any calories anyway. So I'm not like starving. I mean, when I used to go on road trips
Yeah.
in my 20s, you could just sit there and snack all day
Well,
long.
you're so bored. You're
so bored.
It's something to do.
But so we had that. We had a hamburger. I had Taco Bell. We didn't ever eat a pizza. What else did
No.
we eat?
That was pretty
I had a
much it, wasn't it?
Oh, I had a breakfast sandwich at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, right.
That Chick-fil-A was run like a well-oiled machine.
It certainly
they
was.
have
They
to
had
be.
they had about 10 people outside
They
taking
did.
orders and
Yep.
making sure that everything was okay. And we were waiting behind somebody that was, one of those 20-minute orderer guys.
Yeah.
And the manager came out and said, you go around this person. It's, you need to go
Yep.
around this. I'm really sorry for the wait. And I'm like, I've been here for 2 minutes.
Very well run. Really
yeah,
well
it was,
run.
Chick-fil-A is a really well run
The
company.
food's good too.
And I had a breakfast sandwich there. I don't think I ate a vegetable, or I had an apple. I swiped an apple from the hotel. Otherwise, and we had some carrots. We brought carrots
Yep.
along. So my whole vegetable intake was some raw carrots and an apple
Right.
for 3 days. My joints are killing me. I've had a headache. My face is broken out.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, I can't eat this garbage food.
It's
And
so much oil. There's things like that where, like, if I eat too many tortilla chips, I can feel the oil coming out of my skin.
yeah, and that's what people eat all of the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like when you guys were little, I would take you to a fast food place, maybe once every couple of weeks.
Very
We never
infrequently.
ate it nonstop.
The most was
Right.
Pizza Hut because of the Scholastic book thing.
But that wasn't like all the time either.
It was once a week.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe.
I normally made a meal with a protein, a carb, and a vegetable. That's what we ate.
Yep.
We didn't eat nonstop garbage food. And I'm not saying that it's, it's low quality or it doesn't taste good or whatever, but that it's not high quality beef.
Yep.
The bread is filled with sugar.
You can feel that it's not
and
high quality
low
beef
quality
after you eat it.
and low quality GMO flours and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's just, I don't eat that way. I try to have as much grass fed dairy and beef products as I can. I try to eat mostly organic, low salt. I try to stay away from sugar. So when I eat like the average everyday person does, I think that's what the average everyday person eats, I feel like crap.
Yeah.
And the fact that my joints hurt really, I think, is very telling that
Mhm.
they're all inflammatory foods. So if you're in a constant state of inflammation
It's
when you're a
trans fats
child,
is what do it.
yeah. And I just, there's no wonder why people are so heavy if that's what they're
Yeah,
eating.
that is true.
It's not food that is really nutritious.
That's a fact.
Yeah. And then they're drinking, tons and tons of either sodas or energy drinks or sugared, caramel color
Or booze.
all this crap. It's just, it's no wonder. A lot of people are saying that most of our health problems are coming from our low quality food, and that we are allowed in America to put so many chemicals and things that are completely banned in other countries.
Mhm. All right, that's going to do a hell of a show. Look at what we all learned today. All the listeners, all
Yep,
of us.
now
on the
everybody
show.
knows how to deal with Facebook Marketplace.
See,
You can all spell various words.
well,
chows. We can spell
except for
chows.
corduroy, we still.
Yeah, that one's.
Yeah, corduroy. You guys had trouble with, but
Well,
Well, I'm
it's a
trying
word
to-
I never use ever. Like
corduroy.
I
there was the
probably have
book, there's
spelled
there was
the
the
corduroy
kid's
bear. Yep.
corduroy bear, and
Mhm.
That's probably the last time I have read the word corduroy. When you read corduroy bear to me when I was 5.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's like I just don't deal with corduroy in my life.
Oh,
I
we
don't,
don't
often-
deal with
I don't
corduroy.
buy corduroy. I don't have anything made with corduroy. I don't think about corduroy.
How often do you say this is total chaos?
Use the word chaos every so often.
Well,
Do ya?
he has a 2-year-old in the house. There's
Yeah,
always
there's-
chaos.
There's always chaos.
He can be
true.
very
Yes, he
chaotic.
That's one. I want to mention that, by the way, and I was kind of hoping Alex would be here for this, but coming back home and the kids, you and Alex, and then the grandkids, all 3 of them, that was such a thrill. That the family just all getting together and being so happy about it, and I
Well,
love
everybody but Sage.
anybody would say
Sage is
that's
like,
right.
I didn't miss you. We
Oh.
FaceTimed you all the time.
Of course.
Sage is a piece of work, isn't he?
Oh,
I saw you
he's
in
on to
FaceTime.
the next thing all the time.
Yeah, he is.
On to
Yeah,
the
he does
next
go
thing.
on to the
His
next
current
thing.
thing is the Chicago Bulls for some reason.
Oh yeah, he loves the Chicago Bulls.
Oh,
or at
that's
least their
right.
theme song.
That's because he went to a couple of basketball games, and for some reason,
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, we
there's
were-
a movie with it or something. I
We
don't
were
know.
over there and he wanted to like play like those little over the door basketball hoop things. He
Oh
wanted to,
yeah,
you
yep.
know, do that. And he had me put on the Chicago Bulls theme song on my phone while he did it. I'm like,
I'm surprised it wasn't
okay.
the Olympics.
You
Michael
bet.
Jordan, maybe he's a Michael Jordan fan all these years later.
Oh, one more thing before I forget. So Andy, everybody's over. Andy makes a little target in the driveway made out of chalk and a little start square. So you're supposed to throw the bean bags.
It's like skee ball, but with bean bags.
Yeah. And
It worked for a second.
and Sage, if it was half in 100 and half in 50, he took 150.
150 points. That's what he did. Yep.
Not quite how
It's
it
in
works.
both. It's 150 points. That's what he thinks. Well, hey, good for you, kid. Good for you.
Think positive.
All right. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.